Député d'Abitibi-Témiscamingue.
The Honourable Member for Abitibi-Témiscamingue. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I'm pleased to have this opportunity to speak to Bill C-501, which is an act respecting a National Hunting, Trapping and Fishing Heritage Day. Now, I've talked about these activities often because I practice them, I'm involved in them, and I think it's important to add. There was a previous version of this bill, C-475. In fact, in 2011, it died on the order paper, but we said at the time that these were traditional activities for Aboriginal peoples in Canada and have been so since time immemorial. So I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about the importance of these activities for Aboriginals in my riding and to talk about fishing and hunting. For the time being, Mr. Speaker, I won't focus on some of these aspects because during the second hour of debate, my colleague from Nunavik EU will talk about trapping and hunting, but fishing, too, was an activity that Aboriginals were involved in when navigators came down the Gulf of the St. Lawrence. It's part of the traditional activities.
In 2010, there was a study done on recreational fisheries, and 3.3 million Canadians were found to have taken part in this sport. They caught more than 193,000 fish. In 2010, fishers invested $5.8 million in the equipment that they use. In Quebec alone, over $1.5 million was spent on camping equipment, vehicles, and so on for fishing. So it is really a major aspect of our economy. I would like to spend the rest of my time talking about something close to my heart, and that is the importance of women in hunting and fishing. There are an increasing number of women who take part in these activities in Canada, and that is a good thing. The member for Gatineau mentioned that she remembers the very first fish she caught. The member for Halifax used to live near my riding, and she has good memories as well of these activities. In 2010, over 200,000 fishing licenses were sold to women alone. So this is an important aspect. When it comes to hunting, over the past 10 years, 36,000 women took the firearms course, and so there again an increasing number of women go hunting. As you can understand, people need to have the right size clothing, and more we find women's size clothing, and it used to be more difficult to find what women needed. Things have changed. This is a new market that has grown. These are Canadian products in many cases, and they are suited to women's needs. Some 35% of hunters are women. I found another article, Mr. Speaker, that talks about hunting in my riding of Abitibi-Témiscamingue. Women, apparently, often become very good hunters because they learn from their mistakes. Perhaps the men who go hunting learn less from their mistakes, but women really want to improve. Women, as well, are more patient, and we know that patience is very important in hunting. Women, therefore, become very good hunters. What I read as well, those certain colleagues may not know, but you actually need 2 licenses to kill a moose. One to shoot the moose, and the other one to take possession of the moose. And women are more and more involved in actually hunting the moose. So this becomes a family activity. The whole family goes out hunting rather than just a thing that men do with their buddies.
Find really funny when I was doing my research about hunting and fishing, I found a Facebook page. It's Women on Two. And imagine, Mr. Speaker, how many likes this page have. It's 95,000 people like this page. It's really impressive. Également aussi,
As well, Mr. Speaker, I would like to mention that women of all ages like to go hunting. On Facebook, I saw a photo of one of my friends who showed herself going out hunting, and it was wonderful to see that there are young children. Her young daughter was going with her.
And it's also for older women. I read an article, it's really interesting. It's a woman from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, Laura Wood. This woman of 95 years old bagged a moose with one shot. It's really impressive.
Hey, way to go.
And she also said that she hunts since she was 16 years old. She was hunting rabbit and deer. So, Mr. Speaker, I think with those examples of women that hunt for a long time, bring younger women hunting and make this available not just for men but for women on every age. Monsieur le Président, j'aimerais aussi...
Mr. Speaker, I would also like to... how much time do I have left? 5 minutes. That's excellent. I would like to talk about the initiative of the Canadian, or rather the Quebec Federation of Hunters and Anglers in 1995 that was geared to women. Every year they set up an outing, a hunting trip for women. In Saskatchewan, we have another example. It's the Saskatchewan Whitetail Feeder. And they do the same thing. They organize hunting trips that are adapted and geared to women and girls. So that's a good thing to do. Increasingly, the market is adapting to women's need. I said that hunting was traditionally a male activity, but now we are finding more and more women involved, and more equipment is suited to women. This is true also of firearms. We have smaller rifles or ones that can be adjusted. So we're seeing that the market in Canada is increasingly suited not just to men, but also to women. So I think the idea of having a national day is a great idea. We should understand that I went hunting at a very early age. The member for Gatineau remembers when she caught her first fish, and I actually don't remember because I was so young that I don't even remember at that age. It's the same for hunting. When I started going hunting, I can hardly remember because I was so young. But I remember when I had a wooden rifle and my father took me. I was just 3 years old or so. I think that the more we get young people, children involved in hunting, the more importance we will be able to place on this national day. Something that is quite important to me is that we take the time to get young women to take part in this activity that was more a male domain. More and more men like to have their wife or partner with them, and they have photos and so on. So I am very pleased, Mr. Speaker, to have had this opportunity to speak to the bill. Many women will continue to discover hunting, and I hope to continue to see lots of pictures of women out hunting. Many people will continue to come into my riding to contribute to our local economy. I hope that these generations of hunters will continue to be active, and when I'm 100, I hope I will be able to talk about the moose that I shot with them. So I'm pleased to support this bill.